What's up, my guys, and welcome back. I'm your host, Cody, and this is a wrestling report card. That's right, and you know what that means. You fell asleep and now your phone's showing you just a terrible wrestling YouTube channel. I'm sorry about that, but what we do on this show is I take a wrestling show, break down each match, I give it a letter grade, and at the end, I tally them son bitches up to give that show its own report card. So today we're talking about the January 20th episode of Friday Night SmackDown. And first things first, I just want to send my thoughts and prayers out to Jay Briscoe and his family. That was a tragic accident. Not only are we going to miss you as a wrestler, but as a human being as well. Hey, but like he would say, let's get to talking about some wrestling. So tonight on SmackDown, not only do we kick off the 8-man Tag Team Championship Tournament, where the winners will take on the Usos, but we got Roman Reigns in the house with the entire bloodline as he's set to sign his contract for his upcoming match at the Royal Rumble against Kevin Owens. Plus, after an LA Knight match, Bray Wyatt bring back his second old gimmick. Does that mean we're going to see a third next week? I don't know. We're going to have to stay tuned. But yeah, as y'all can tell, we got a lot to talk about. So without further ado, buckle up your seatbelts and let's get to great. So to kick us off tonight, we got our first of 4 quarterfinals matches for that there Tag Team Contender Tournament. And in this first round, we got the Banger Bros taking on the Viking Raiders. And I tell you what, these 4 couldn't even wait on Michael Cole to finish his intro before they just started throwing down. Now, it was well after the break until Drew McIntyre was able to tag in. But I tell you what, once he did, his crazy ass just started going nuts, including lifting the near 400-pound eye-bar for a beautiful Michinoku driver. He also tried to superplex that big son bitch as well, but Eric was there to save the day, well, momentarily, until Sheamus hit his ass with the white noise. And when we came back from the break, it's Drew with the Aftershock DDT. He loaded up to follow up with the Claymore, but somehow, Ibar was able to counter and hit that spinning heel kick. Next, it's Sheamus with a power slam, but when he went for the bro kick, Valhalla got up, she interfered, which allowed Ibar to hit the biggest frog slash known to mankind. But somehow, the fella was able to kick out. Next thing you know, the Raiders were setting up for Ragnarok when all hell broke loose. Sheamus countered, hit Ibar with the knee, then Drew came sliding in and delivered a Claymore to Eric, which allowed Sheamus to get up and finally hit that bro kick on Ibar to get the 1, 2, 3 and move the Banger Bros onto the semifinals. That's right, the Banger Bros remain alive, baby. If I'm gonna grade that opening match, I'm gonna give it an A-. Now, before we had that match, we went backstage where we saw the Bloodline pulling up in those iconic SUVs. Then Sami Zayn was going around giving out his handshakes, but when he got to fist bump the Tribal Chief, Roman just left him hanging. And based off Sami's reaction, you would have thought Roman just killed his dog or something. So after that match, we go backstage where Roman was there, and he just wants to address what's wrong with the honorary Usos. Sami admitted that he was upset that his match with KO got interfered last week by the Usos and said for a brief moment, he believed KO when he said that the Bloodline was just using him, and man, this obviously pissed off Roman Reigns. He does not even want to hear Kevin Owens' name. He was so mad, he just looked over at Sami and said, just get out, man. Just get out. You know, the Tribal Chief is not somebody you want to cross. Speaking of people you don't want to cross, next up, we got LA Knight in the ring. And when will this boy learn coming down here messing with these people, man? Before his scheduled match, he started running his mouth about Bray Wyatt again. Anyways, we get the match started, and not even 10 seconds in, you already had Bray's logo flashing all over the screen. Knight smartly started to pick up the pace against this said jobber, and ended up squashing him within the next minute. But then, we got the return of the Firefly Funhouse, and I tell you what, I've been waiting on this. And the funniest part of it all was Bray was using his logo to cover up his butt crack while he was going around fixing up the Funhouse. I mean, thanks, Randy Orton. We got to see some familiar faces such as Mercy the Buzzard, Huskies the Pig, and Ramblin' Rabbit. We didn't get no puppet Vince McMahon though. After Uncle Howdy came on telling Bray all he needed was a little push, Bray Wyatt basically told Los Angeles Knight that he opened the door, and whatever comes through it, oh, that's your problem now. See you at the Rumble. Bye. Man, you cannot lie. Bray Wyatt is a genius, my guy. So, you know, last week we got Cult Leader Bray. This week we got Funhouse Bray. And next week, does that mean he is coming back? Whether it's at SmackDown or the Royal Rumble, y'all know who I'm talking about. Also, we could be getting the 3 Faces of Foley with Bray Wyatt at the Royal Rumble. I mean, I'm not opposed to either one of those happen. For that segment right there, I'm going to give it an A-. I love the storyline we've had with Bray, and I told y'all the slow burn was the way to go. But we got to move on, because up next, we got our second of those quarterfinal matches in that tag team tournament as we got Hit Row taking on Los Lotharios. And I tell you what, this was short, it was sweet, and did what it needed to do. And I love that we're doubling down on the Hit Row being heels angle. At the end, when Los Lotharios were gaining momentum, B-Fab involved herself behind the ref's back, and by the time he turned back around, Adonis was making the cover, getting his team to 1-2-3, and moving on to the semis of this tournament. The unfortunate thing for Hit Row is next they got to take on the Banger Bros to make it to the finals. Now, another positive from this is I think Los Lotharios has benefited a lot from being off of TV this long, and I wouldn't be opposed to a face turn and maybe a little push for those two. For that match right there, I'm going to give it a C+. I ain't going to sit here and do too much on it. We did get some great news earlier this week, though, as we found out that Cody Rhodes is set to return at the Royal Rumble. Hopefully him and Seth can meet there instead of having another match, because I'm definitely ready to see Cody square off against some other wrestlers in the WWE. Well, next up, we got Charlotte Flair coming down to the ring. And okay, whoever was out there saying that Charlotte Flair can't get over as a face needs their card taken right now, because Detroit was 100% there for the queen. Now, Sonya Deville, on the other hand, let's just say she's not a fan. So like I said, Charlotte came down to the ring and called Sonya out face to face to come talk to her woman to woman. Sonya came out and claimed that Charlotte is entitled, when Charlotte pointed out that it's actually Sonya who feels entitled to yet another title shot after she tapped out just 2 weeks ago to Charlotte Flair in a title match. Now, as the two were getting ready to throw down, Scrap Daddy Pierce came out, and as he was talking, Sonya took a team shot at the champ before running off. Pierce stopped her halfway up the ramp and just wanted to have a chat with his former PIC. So we're going to have to see where that goes. For that segment right there, I'm going to give it a B-. You can't tell me Charlotte isn't great. Just look at the impact she's had since coming back and being the champ. I tell you what. Well, we still got to move on, because up next in our third first round match of the night, and this was probably the one I was looking forward to the most. I mean, not only are they both great, furthermore, I had no clue which team was going to walk out this sumbitch with the win, which made the finish that much better. That's right. In this matchup, I'm talking about the Brawling Brutes taking on Imperium. Y'all peep that vocabulary? I know you heard me use that big sumbitch furthermore, okay? Not all of us Okies are dumb, that's all I'm saying. Anyways, we get down to the nitty-gritty of this match, and Butch struck first with a tornado DDT. He reached over tagging Ridge, but with Butch still standing out on the apron, Kaiser came over and kicked him off of it right into a nasty brainbuster courtesy of Vinci, who quickly got his ass up, went over, tagged in, and the two went on to hit the Imperium bomb back onto Ridge the Fridge to get the 1-2-3, and Imperium moves on to the semifinals, baby. Hey, for that match, I'm going to give it a B-. I thought it was solid. My only knock is that a lot of the action took place during the commercial break. Now, before that match, Paul Heyman, who said he hasn't liked Sami Zayn since day one, suggested to the Tribal Chief that it was better to have the honorary Uce inside the castle pissing out rather than to have him outside the castle pissing in. Yeah, that's why he's the wise man, damn it. So after that match, right before the break, we see the wise man letting Sami know that the Tribal Chief has requested his presence. Now, after a dope-ass video tribute package for the 30-year celebration of Monday Night Raw coming up, we get into our final first-round match of our tournament, which consists of Legado del Fantasma taking on the Maximum Male Models. First, let's just thank God we got LA Knight far away from this group as possible. And in a match that was a lot more competitive than I thought it would, LDF was still able to hit that disgusting finisher of theirs to get the 1-2-3. Honestly though, I wish Legado would have just squashed him. Like, why not have them looking like complete badasses going into the thick of this tournament? But that's just me. So for that alone, I'm going to give this match a C-. I like the action, but I just don't get it. Now, next up, we go backstage where we got Roman Reigns and Honorary Uce, and then Roman admitted, hey, I might have a bit of an anger problem. Now, I'm not sure if this was Roman's way of apologizing, but that narcissistic bastard told Sami, sometimes I just expect the same love and loyalty that I show. So Sami then explained that he would do anything, I mean anything, for Roman in the bloodline. So Roman gave him a list of chores to get done while he goes and signs the contract before finally the Tribal Chief gave the Honorary Uce that fist bump, and that made my guy's day right there. These two just don't miss. For the Roman and Sami segments tonight, I'm going to give it an A-. I mean, I'm a fist bump guy myself, but who cares? That's enough of the talk, because it's time for the main event for their upcoming match at the Royal Rumble for both the titles, Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. First, they got to do their contract signing. And okay, Roman knows there's only about 9 minutes left in the show at this point, and that sumbitch still took almost half an hour to make his way down to the ring. Y'all know that's my guy, but come on, man. Well, I guess it honestly didn't matter, because as soon as he sat down, Kevin Owens popped up with the Jay Briscoe sleeve on. He wiped out Solo, and then by God, KO hit Roman with a stunner. Then the Usos showed up trying to help, but KO was just too much for them. After having himself a super kick party, whoops. KO rolled back in the ring. He threw Roman into the ropes. He picked that big troublesome bitch up and powerballed his ass straight through the table. I mean, those tables gotta be 0-197 in contract signings at this point, but oh well. Afterwards, he walked over to Paul Heyman, snatched that contract out of his hands, signed it. At this point, Sami Zayn showed up, but KO just tossed that contract at him before escaping through the Detroit crowd. Holy shit, yeah, that all happened within about 5 minutes after Roman got to the ring, so yeah, that was insane, my guy. For that, I'm going to give it a B. I mean, why beat around the bush? We all know what's going to happen during the contract signing. Let's just get right to it, baby. Woo! I tell you what, that was a wild episode. Y'all know what time of the show it is. We got all the grades in. Well, let's take a look at the report card. After tallying everything up, we came out with a final letter grade of a B. That's right, an 84%. Yes, sir. Hey, I want to appreciate everybody that tunes in. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Also want to get a shout out to my guy, OG Bobby Knifehawk. He does my music. Go check him out on SoundCloud. Hey, just released another video, top 10 CM Punk return matches in 2023. Go get that and check out too. Other than that, I'm your host, Cody. I hope all y'all stay safe and have a nice day.